Hey everybody, how's it going? Today, let's take a detailed look at the newly refreshed 2013 Lincoln MKT Ecoboost all-wheel drive. And this is going to be a detailed, in-depth review of the MKT. We'll start it up, show the engine, get an exhaust clip, and go over the performance data, and show you a bunch of the unique aspects of the interior as well as exterior. Now I'd like to give a big thanks and a special shout out to Parkway Ford Lincoln, located in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, for allowing me to come out and film the 2013 Lincoln MKT. And so, without further ado, let's go ahead and start her up, let her run. And as you can see, the MKT does come standard with remote start. And it does also come standard with an integrated smart key access system. All you have to do is keep the key fob in your pocket and locate the little black button on the door handle to lock and unlock the vehicle. All you have to do to lock it is just tap it. Then after waiting a second, touch the touch-sensitive pad behind the handle and it'll automatically unlock the vehicle. There's also a blended-in electronic keypad built into the B-pillar that illuminates once you touch it, so you can put in a code and unlock the vehicle that way if you desire. The exterior color is known as white platinum metallic tricoat and featuring the Dune premium leather interior with dark brown accenting. And it does also come with remote push-button ignition. All you have to do is put your foot on the brake and hit the chrome accented button to start. Beautiful. The MKT for 2013 features electric assist, speed proportional rack and pinion power steering, and a nice, smooth, soft, full leather wrapped steering wheel with a 3-spoke design and a little bit of real wood accenting coming up across the top. Bright work, highlighting some of the multifunction controls. And as far as the transmission, it's a 6-speed electronically controlled gearbox with sport mode and manual shiftability via the paddles mounted behind the steering wheel. And then, when you put it in reverse, an integrated backup camera automatically appears with guidance lines that automatically adjust as you turn the wheel. All in a chrome and leather accented shift knob. And we'll go ahead and flip on the automatic headlamps, fog lamps. All 4 windows are fully automatic with laminated glass. And we'll go ahead and check out the exterior, shall we? The vehicle will also chime a few times, letting you know it's lost detection of the proximity key fob. For the 2013 model year, the MKT receives its first refresh since its introduction back in 2010. The front fascia is all new and features more aggressive, angular xenon projector headlamps and a sleek new waterfall grille that makes one think of the retro styling of the Lincoln Zephyrs of the 1930s and 40s. All of the styling changes follow suit with the new MKS and MKZ. The interior also features updates such as new instrumentation, seats, innovative safety features, and a revised infotainment system. As Lincoln has been transforming itself over the past few years as the new Lincoln Motor Company, you would expect to see some new daring models and radical styling. Just as Cadillac set their eyes on performance and shed their past of building traditional highway cruisers, Lincoln is following a similar path. But, unlike Cadillac, this focus isn't on performance and taking on the Germans. It's about bringing back heritage, innovation, and style. Bringing back that prestigious nameplate from 50 years ago. One of these new models is the MKT. Like I said, it was first introduced as a 2010 model and shares the same Volvo-derived platform as the Ford Flex and the new generation Explorer. The similarities pretty much stop there. This isn't an example of badge engineering. It's pretty much a standalone model fitted in between the MKX and the larger Lincoln Navigator. The length and idea follows the Flex more, but the styling and luxury is unmistakably Lincoln. It dares to be different while tying in decades of Lincoln styling with a modern twist. This MKT comes with a set of bright polished 20-inch aluminum alloy wheels wrapped in Goodyear all-season tires measuring 255/45. Brakes consist of 4-wheel internally ventilated discs and clamped down by 2-piston sliding calipers in front and single-piston sliding calipers in the rear, bringing the MKT to a stop at 60 miles an hour and 127 feet. As far as the suspension, it consists of independent McPherson struts with coil springs up front and a multi-link rear suspension with coil springs with front and rear stabilizer bars. This model also has Lincoln's drive control adjustment that allows for fully adjustable dampers to adjust the steering, suspension, and throttle response for comfort or sport settings. The two different trim levels offered are Base and Ecoboost, and there's two different seat configurations, either a 6-passenger with the middle row console or 7-passenger with a full middle row bench seat. Coming up across the top, you'll see the unique glass panoramic sunroof, of which the front portion lifts up and over, and I'll show that in just a little bit. You also have automatic rain-sensing windshield wipers, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning assist, and blind spot monitoring, along with LED integrated turn signal mirrors. Out back, you see a very unique combination of old and new styling. The rear tail lamp design actually reminds me of the Lincoln Mark 8 from the mid-90s. It's a full LED bar with the integrated backup lamps towards the middle and subtle chrome accenting. The rear tailgate is also quite large. It actually houses a piece of magnesium that decreases the overall weight about 20 pounds. In comparing lengths, the MKT is about 6 inches longer than a comparable Ford Flex, but shares the same wheelbase. Although the MKT doesn't have the boxy shape as the Flex, it's more raked back with the windshield and a lot more curved, which decreases some of the interior space. While there is plenty of room for normal day-to-day function, style kind of supersedes the potential for increased cargo space you would expect in a longer vehicle. But everything is nicely polished off and finished, all tapering into 2 polished exhaust tips down below in the lower clip. Overall length is 207.6 inches with a width of 76 inches and a height of 67.4 inches. Total curb weight is around 4,957 pounds. And we're going to pop the hood. The standard engine, a 3.7-liter V6, receives a power bump for 2013 to 303 horsepower, while this 3.5-liter twin-turbo EcoBoost V6 also gains a bit of power. The dual overhead cam direct-injected engine produces 365 horsepower at 5750 RPM and 350 pound-feet of torque at a low 1500 RPM. Last year's EcoBoost MKT had an estimated 0 to 60 time of around 6.1 seconds with a top speed of around 123 miles an hour and a quarter-mile time of 14.6 seconds at 97 miles an hour. With an 18.6-gallon fuel tank on premium gas, expect to see a miles to a gallon rating of around 16 city, 23 highway. Overall interior styling is very unique to the MKT and borrows little from the rest of the Lincoln lineup, if anything a little bit of inspiration from the MKS. Interior ergonomics, electronics, and function are very similar to the rest of the Lincoln lineup, so if you're familiar with the other models, especially the MKX, you'll catch on pretty quickly. Build quality is also quite good, with plentiful amounts of stitched leather accented across the doors and the dash and padded material covering many of the interior surfaces. Real wood accents wrap around the doors and the dash, and there's subtle uses of chrome trim found throughout key pieces of the interior. You have all of your power windows, power locks, and 3-person memory located on the door. The new seats are quite comfortable and feature a plentiful amount of padding, trimmed in soft, supple leather. There's also a moderate amount of side bolstering across the top and the bottom cushion for better lateral grip. Down below, all of your standard power adjustments as well as your 4-way power lumbar adjustment. The seats are also fully perforated, keeping them nicely ventilated, especially on a hot day. And along with the side curtain airbags, you also have adjustable headrests and seatbelts. Logoed illuminated aluminum door sill plaques, as well as a full power tilt telescoping steering wheel with power pedal adjust. Like I mentioned earlier, the entire dash is wrapped out of leather tracing down to the center console, while all the lower portions are wrapped in a soft touch material. Integrated stitching coming around the speedometer cluster with little touches of wood and subtle chrome accenting.
So let's go ahead and see if she sounds. There is a rev limiter in park and neutral around 4,000 RPM. It's also very smooth, no vibration transfers into the cabin. So we're going to shut her up. Nice soft closing door panels. All 2013 MKT models comes with what is essentially the Ford My Ford Touch system, but for Lincoln vehicles, it's known as My Lincoln Touch. It's a full touchscreen, mobile media, navigation, telemetrics interface with built-in HD radio, as well as standard Sirius satellite radio. And we'll get to this in its appropriate part in the video, but most of the controls down below here are all touch-based. So for the volume, for example, just swipe your finger across and it'll illuminate. Side curtain airbags, garage home link, as well as an auto-dimming rear view mirror. Up top, you have your microphone for your hands-free Bluetooth telephone, padded sunglass storage, as well as full LED interior illumination. Right here are the controls for your full panoramic sunroof, whether it be for the sunshade here, all one-touch automatic. But when it's open, you can either tilt it or hit the sunshade button one more time and open it automatically. Little windscreen pops up. But as far as the My Lincoln Touch system, just as My Ford Touch, has been modified over the years to be a little bit more responsive and decrease lag versus some of the previous generations. It's also a bit simpler, so you can fiddle with it and kind of get to know it a little bit quicker as well. This is your main screen where it shows your basic data for your phone, navigation, radio, and climate control. And then each of the quadrants correspond to the different menus. For example, entertainment, it's all of your different media options. Radio modes off to the left, Sirius, CD, USB, hands-free Bluetooth streaming of audio, SD card input, as well as audio-visual input. All of your preset stations are located down below, song and radio information. You can tag specific songs via iTunes tagging, or set alerts if you want to have the system alert you whenever the song is playing across Sirius, and then you can listen to it whenever it comes on. And then all of your other radio modes off to the right here, including direct tune. If you go up to your hands-free Bluetooth telephone,
sync on your device and select sync once it is found.
It'll automatically prompt you to sync your phone. If you don't, or if you already have one up, it'll come up in this screen here. And then your main telephone screen will bring up your contacts, storing messages, integrated dialing pad, and the like. Currently the navigation SD card isn't inputted into this particular one at the moment, but your navigation will be located up there. In the meantime, a little compass will display in the main screen. Down below is all of your touch-sensitive climate control systems. Your heated steering wheel activation, heated and ventilated seats, 3-stage. If it's in the home screen, all of that will show up down there. so you don't always have to go into the climate control to activate your heated, cooled seats and steering wheel. Dual zone climate control with your different zones, fan speed, front and rear defrost, automatic, max AC, etc. Now if we move down below here, those controls are basically mimicked if you didn't want to go through the My Lincoln Touch. With your climate control, swiping across for your fan speed, and you'll see that an LED illuminates down below there as well as with the volume button, and then your defrost, automatic modes, etc. You can also control the rear climate from here. Back to the home screen. Now as far as the system settings, you can activate it basically two ways. You can hit the clock up there or down at the settings below. If you hit the clock, it'll go ahead and bring up the date and time change, but if you're already in the menu here, you can hit it down below there as well with your display, sound settings, the different equalizer settings, as well as the Dolby Digital THX certified surround sound, the vehicle settings and diagnostics, personalizable options, and help if you need to learn how to use any of the commands, including the vehicle's voice-activated sync system.
Please say a command.
Help.
Say a device name, like phone, climate, USB, CD, or radio. To get help with a specific device, say the device name and help, like phone help. You can interrupt me at any time by pushing the voice button. Phone is always active, so you can say things like, call John Smith, to hear an introduction.
Cancel.
Canceling.
So it's pretty self-explanatory. And with the navigation system, you also have some serious concierge services such as real-time weather updates, sports updates, and the like, and you also have real-time traffic updates. But, in a nutshell, those are all the basic functions of the My Lincoln Touch system in the new MKT. The center console is styled almost like a floating console, with a little bit of space down below there, with 12-volt power outlets and a little bit of storage. Your leather stitching flows down the middle, and comes back into the cup holders that are also illuminated. Along with the blind spot monitoring, adaptive cruise, and lane departure warning assist, there's also an active auto park feature. So when activated, and you want to parallel into a parking spot, it'll automatically search for an available spot, and with the assist of you pushing on the brake when necessary, it'll automatically steer itself into the spot for you. Stitched leather console with a plentiful amount of space, including a power outlet, SD card input, your AV, and 2 USB inputs. As far as the steering wheel, your cruise control and adaptive cruise settings are on the left, radio controls and voice commands are off to the right, and up top are your 2 integrated driver information systems located on either side of the speedometer. To the right is a simplified version of what you would find on the My Lincoln Touch system, your phone data, navigation, and climate. All self-explanatory. And off to the left is your more traditional driver information system with your digitalized tachometer. Bring up your trip computer, fuel economy, vehicle information, the My Key parental controls. Alrighty. We got shutter down. And we'll check out the back seat. Gaining access to the back seat is a cinch. The rear doors are large, open nice and wide. Tinted windows from the factory, also with pull-up sunshades. Feature the same luxurious padded door trim with chrome accented speakers. And the middle row seats are of captain's chair-like fashion with a full-length center console. There's also power lumbar located on each seat. The leather is perforated. And for better ease of access into the rear seat, they're also power folding. Backseat room is a little tight for taller passengers. I'm about 5'10". I'd probably recommend shorter people sitting back here, most likely children. Cup holders, rear air vents, and side curtain airbags for the rear. There's also an integrated refrigerated cool box in the middle to keep beverages cold. But probably one of the neatest safety innovations on the 2013 Lincoln products are the inflatable rear seat belts. These basically act kind of like an airbag, if you will. In the case of an accident, they'll expand and evenly distribute the pressure across your chest, so you don't actually have the skinny belt itself creating such a single pressure point on your chest, overall decreasing the risk of injury. The rear seats are very comfortable, and there's absolutely plenty of room everywhere. Plenty of cutouts in the doors for ease of spreading out. Coat hooks up top. The center console houses your cup holders and extra storage, with an AC and 12-volt power outlet down below there. You can control the cool box here to either refrigerate or cool the items, in case you didn't see it earlier. Not to mention your rear climate control with heated and ventilated seats for the rear passengers. Also quite nice. So let's go and check out the rest of the vehicle, shall we?
As far as the rear of the MKT, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Now, total cubic volume of storage space is approximately 78 cubic feet once the seats are folded down. Now, to fold the seats down, you can actually do this in, well, 3 different ways. Right now, they're in the standard configuration. You have your aluminum door sill plaque there, gracing the entryway, and a little bit of storage down below in your spare tire. Off to the left there are all the different modes. So if you want to fold it, you can fold both of them automatically simultaneously, or just select either one to fold if you just wanted one of them down. Then, if you want to configure it to this tailgate position, it'll actually flip the seats all the way back, let them rest on the entryway, so you can actually sit there if you're, well, at a tailgating scenario. Then if you want to stow the seat, it'll bring it back up, release it, tuck them away under the floorboard to reveal a flat loading space up to the middle row seats. And then with the touch of a button, they'll automatically go back into their standard configuration so you can pull up the headrest and get everything resituated.
The passenger seat features the same power adjustments that you find on the driver's seat. and a Roomy Glovebox, lined in velour.
The MKT blends three important things: style, practicality, and power thanks to the Ecoboost V6. It's definitely something different for those wanting to stand out from the pack and have something just a little bit more unique.
Well everyone, I hope you enjoyed the detailed look at the 2013 Lincoln MKT Ecoboost. Be sure to stay tuned next time, there's a lot more where that came from. Take care everybody.